The Reach complex is now the #1 priority fire in the country. Firefighters are making progress on some fronts, but they warn that as many as 100 homes are still threatened. Some families returned home today to find that they have nothing.
It was not anything new or extravagant, but it was our favorite place to be. Oh my gosh.
4 generations enjoyed the Wickenhagen family home just outside Chelan until Friday evening.
My volleyball thing.
Your volleyball thing from childhood.
Trista Siltman and her mom Tina Spencer spent so many summers up here, taking in the best view in Chelan County.
I can't drive up and down the road and see it this way. It doesn't look the same. It's not the same. It will never be the same. A lot of memories were lost.
Family friends tried to save the property. They were up there on the roof. That explains the water buckets perched atop the chimney. But the flames were too intense.
We knew as soon as the wind shifted, we were all going to be in danger.
Among the ashes, heirloom paintings.
This was the garage. It's all gone.
Their grandfather's Model T, and decades worth of little things that make a house a home.
Our cousin said if you put a new cord on it and plug it in, it'll still work.
Trista and Tina say they'll rebuild. Because they don't want this summer up here overlooking the gorge to be their last.
It's surreal. I don't even think my head's wrapped around it all.
Just southeast of Omak, flames continue their destructive march across Okanagan County. This front remains an active firefight this evening as crews try to save dozens of properties along State Route 155. Roads are sometimes a helpful barrier to stop the flames. Not today. Strong winds are pushing the fire southeast of Omak, where it's consumed even more homes.
Terrible. It's just terrible.
Kay Benson and her husband Gary have been up since 4 this morning, spraying down hot spots, and they expect to be up all night.
Just when you think everything's okay, the fire pops up someplace else.
They're lucky they were able to stay and fight. So many others had to flee. More than 130 people from all across the county gathered at the Red Cross shelter in Brewster.
Yeah, I can live in this.
John Walden brought with him a truckload of belongings.
38 years of photo albums here in Brewster.
We haven't slept the last 2 nights.
For some, these evacuations are becoming an annual late summer ritual.
Three every year now for 3 years.
This time, Yvonne Busler-White plans to head to Wenatchee with her 87-year-old grandma, Beatrice Gillespie.
Nah, don't bother me. I survived the big flood of 1948.
Now she can say she's made it through the big fire of 2015. Ted Land, King 5 News. In some subdivisions, this firefight really is a community effort. Fire managers are doing all they can to get their crews ahead of the flames to save homes, only to find in some cases, people are trying to do the job themselves. Welcome to Tunk Valley, one of the most scenic corners of Washington. Well, most of the year.
Ah, to hell with that.
The thing about living so far out in the country is that you're pretty low on the priority list when it comes to fighting wildfires.
It's bad.
Especially when state crews are stretched as thin as they are this season.
You need some help?
So neighbors like Dale Southwick and Donnie Phillips,
Kind of known as the crazy mountain woman, you know.
are doing all they can to keep the flames from destroying their small community.
It's worth fighting for, so we love it.
This line of fire extends about 2 miles up the hill. They're trying to keep it on this side of the road because down there are about 24 homes.
We just need the wind to stay calm or burn back to itself, and then we're okay.
They're not yet sure if this fire has a formal name or who is supposed to be in charge.
Hey, Bob. Who's actually coordinating? Who's the lead up here? Are you
For now, Bob Wright, a local firefighter, is trying to organize everyone.
We're going to stay right on the road.
Even though he just learned some tough news about his own place.
We lost everything.
He lost his home yesterday morning, I think it was, or the night before that. So, and he and his wife are still out here helping, and that's the kind of people they are.
By noon, a team from Eastern Oregon arrived, just in time.
We're good.
Winds are starting to pick up, And this fight is far from over.
They can take our house, but they can't take our heart. That's my new motto.
Tragedy on the water. Kayakers are in mourning after 2 people died near Port Angeles. We spoke to friends today who say the weather got ugly quickly and caught the whole group off guard. That happened yesterday. King 5's Ted Land is live in Olympia now with how people who were on that trip are coping tonight. Ted?
They are stunned by what happened in Dungeness Bay near Port Angeles. This was an experienced group who just wanted to enjoy a sunny Saturday on the water, but all of that changed so quickly.
Look at this kayak.
Look at how calm it was when the group of kayakers set out on Dungeness Bay yesterday.
We're just having a good time, and that's all we ever try to do. I labeled it.
Dennis Keynes recorded the video from the tandem kayak he shared with his wife, Linda.
We have a dinner afterwards, and yeah, it's a tradition.
And the group's really like a bunch of friends and acquaintances.
At that point,
they reached a lighthouse out on the Spit, then turned around to come back, and the wind picked up. That's Linda you hear in the background. They were fighting the gusts, and the group of 7 kayakers was quickly scattering.
The other 6 boats were spreading out really rapidly.
Linda and Dennis paddled for their lives and made it back to the shore, far from their group, wondering what happened to the others.
The sheriff come up and said, I have bad news. And my heart just sank.
52-year-old Jacob Austin died after his kayak overturned. And hours later, more bad news. One of the other kayakers, 39-year-old Mandy Walkley, who was airlifted to a hospital, did not make it.
I'm sorry. She's such a beautiful person.
A day later, all they can think about are the 2 who didn't make it back.
It just feels unreal. People we were friends with or acquaintances with that were there, and then they weren't.
What more could we have done? The question now stings.
We feel the energy in this town.
But think back before the game.
It's amazing.
Fans made it seem like anything was possible.
Having fun, enjoying the atmosphere. Really, what else can you do?
Little Haley Estrada was one of them, out there in the middle of the crowd, rallying her team.
Well, she sees all of us getting excited, and so I think she feels the emotion.
Everyone wanted a part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty full. Very full. Go Hawks!
They cheered right up until the end. Right up until that cry heard round the sound. Those Patriot fans like Staff Sergeant John Alexandra, who was watching at JBLM, made it hurt. And it made us all wonder, what more could we have done?
This is why I hate away games.
The best answer we can come up with right now, nothing.
It's a good game. That's what matters. The point is that this team has expressed the spirit of the city of Seattle.
Ted Land, King 5 News.